Earlier I spoke of my heroes, but now we're getting to the superheroes. If you've seen the photos of Carl and Karina and the weight leader on their programs, you know they have a great sense of humor, and they don't take themselves too seriously. They're also good friends with a long history of working together and playing together. I know you'll agree that our first honoree, Carl Weimer, is a special guy with a long string of attachments, and he more than deserves our Lifetime Achievement Award. Carl is an innovator. No matter what the circumstances, he will elevate an important issue that other people have overlooked. Like when he was walking his dog and he discovered that SSA Marine had illegally, without a permit, cleared a wetland and built 3 miles of road to where they intended to dump coal. By exposing the arrogance of this multinational corporation, Carl fueled the battle and the long fight that eventually stopped this terminal. During his 13-year tenure as Resources Executive Director, Carl established the North Sound Baykeeper program, which is the only clean water watchdog in our community. And he started the Restore, which is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. In 1999, when the gas line explosion killed 3 young boys, Carl stepped up to hold the gas company accountable. Part of that settlement included permanently underwriting a watchdog organization, the Pipeline Safety Trust, which Carl now heads, and in that capacity, he's pushing for pipeline safety across the country. And as you know, Carl's been our hero on County Council for the past 12 years, where he spearheaded. He doesn't just vote, he spearheaded in progressive initiatives over and over and over. Too many to mention. His colleague Ken Mann calls him brilliant and courageous. Tonight, we're giving Carl Weimer an award for decades of service. But though this is a lifetime award, we really don't expect Carl to rest on his laurels. After all, he's only a young 64. We will still need him, we will still feed him, because he's just 64. So, without further ado, let me welcome my friend and lifetime environmental hero, Carl Weimer.
In the last 12 years on County Council, I've been called a lot of things. And none of them were as nice as environmental hero. So I really appreciate that. For the past week leading up to this, and Karina kind of and I talked about this too, the main thing I've been pondering is, why am I getting this award? All I've been doing is my job. And so what brings me here getting an award that so many other people have been helped with? And so I thought I should say something profound, and I've never come up with that, so I'll just blab on for a while. But, just a little bit about, and a lot of this is honoring resources as much as it's honoring me. When I look at the things that we've accomplished, a lot of it is just plain dumb luck. The stars aligned, and I was in the right place at the right time. And the stars provided an opportunity, and I guess the one thing that maybe I can take credit for is I tend to be an introvert. I'd rather be sitting out there listening than up here talking. And growing up, I loved nature. I'd rather be in the woods than, in the classroom or around people. So I think those two things together make it so I can really listen. And when those opportunities are presented, I do the research, I do the data, I look at the facts. Ken would probably say I was the data wonk on the county council. It was probably painful at times. But you combine all those things, and I think I was pretty good at identifying opportunities and moving those forward. It's kind of like throwing a stone. I was given lots of opportunities to throw stones into a lake, and then the ripples went out, and you don't really know where the ripples are going to end. So we sent off a lot of ripples and still can't define some of those. I want to put that and define that in terms of resources, because most everything I've done for the last 25, 28 years has been because of resources. I got the job in 1991. I don't know why. The stars aligned. I was given an opportunity. No one turned in a better resume. I certainly wasn't particularly qualified. The next thing I knew, I'm working for an organization that has started the curbside recycling here in Bellingham. We were winning national awards and national recognition for having the best waste prevention and recycling program anywhere in the nation, and those awards are still hanging on the resources wall someplace. A tremendous opportunity, and that opportunity allowed us to throw stones and start other things. We started a business recycling program that was really strong. Rod Kempel's here someplace. He's still doing that. Started a school program. At one point, we were doing 400 plus school programs a year, won national awards for that. Colleen's here someplace was there when I started doing school programs. Hired her, Rob Campbell actually started doing school programs. At one point we needed a new school program person, and I made the mistake of hiring Karina, who started doing school programs for us. That was a stone into the lake, and the ripple effects just keep going out there. Then a lot of our information about waste and garbage led to an understanding that the garbage and the waste this community produces has a lot of toxics and poisons mixed in it, whether it's your residential waste, your industrial waste, or even some of the byproducts from the agricultural community. You couple that with my love of nature, you couple that with the time I've spent just sitting on streams and creeks. I lived 5 years in the wilderness for years. And you couple that with I had 2 small kids in the late 80s and the early 90s, and the one thing we kept them busy with was taking them to the beach. Well, the beach we could get to that we could let the kids run on was Cherry Point. That was closest to where we lived. And we did that. And we learned that if you went out there in late May or early June, back in the late 80s, early 90s, the place was alive with life. The herring were there spawning. The place was full of herring eggs. The salmon were jumping all around. Seabirds of every make and kind were there. Seals, sea lions, porpoises. The place was alive. That's gone now. The herring are just about gone now. And we've raised our kids on that beach. A deep sense of love for water and the water that runs through here. And that gave me another opportunity working with resources to throw more stones into the lake. As Duane said, we created the North Sound Baykeeper program. One of the ripple effects was hiring Robin Dupre. And I'm not going to talk about Robin Dupre because if I do, I'll start crying, and Karina will start crying, and this will all be a ball fest. And Robin would hate that. But certainly that was one of the ripples. We got involved with all kinds of water pollution problems. We stopped heavy metal pollution into the Nooksack River from the city of Ferndale coming from the incinerators. We dealt with GP's mercury plant and the mercury that was going into Bellingham Bay. We dealt with pesticides in groundwater coming from old farmer practices. And then one of the stones, and actually Seth Fleetwood threw this stone at me because of my love for water, there was an opening on the county council and somebody that was supposed to file just backed out. Filing. I happened to be walking down the street and Seth pulls his car over and says, "We need someone to run." And me not being able to say no or identifying opportunities got involved. And Seth and Ken and other people, you know, over the next 12 years, we worked and we strengthened septic rules, we added $1 million to the water budget. We set up strong programs for stormwater runoff and for fecal coliform pollution, and we helped protect 9,000 acres around Lake Whatcom. Those are all stories that I'm not going to throw into the lake, and the continue to go on from all of those things because I worked at Resources. And then Duane already stole my thunder about how, because of the love of Cherry Point, my dog drugged me out there about 3 times a week, and I was out there walking with the dog, and the dog noticed survey markers in the woods. And as we went back and looked in there, we found out, you know, the clearing that went on in the wetlands. And so I documented that. I was the chair of the council at the time, the chair of the Natural Resource Committee, and it dawned on me that if I couldn't do something about this, nobody could. Documented it, took it to the county administration, and boy, they really whacked that company with a $6,000 fine. That was a stone that had ripple effects, and the Resources picked up the loose change of that and turned that into $1.6 million. The additional ripple effect of that was some of that money now is creating an amazing park on Lummi Island. So you never know when you throw a stone where those ripples are going to end up. Just to close out, you know, then in 1999, a pipeline exploded. And I met the parents who lost their children. And Resources was one of the few environmental groups, some of us public interest people got together and said, what should a community do about this? And we did something that was unique and has never been done since in the United States, even though there's been quite a few tragedies on pipelines since. We came together and we said, that's not going to happen anywhere else. We're going to organize about this, and we're going to create an organization to continue to push for the public interest. And out of that, we convinced the Bush Justice Department, let that sink in, the Bush Justice Department to set aside $4 million of that settlement to create the Pipeline Safety Trust, which is an offspin of Resources. I don't work for Resources anymore, the Pipeline Safety Trust, but Resources created Safe Bellingham, which then went on to become the Pipeline Safety Trust. So we've had great success. I think I've been in front of Congress 20 times, been to the White House a couple of times. We've changed federal laws on pipeline safety in a number of ways. It's spreading now to Canada. Just to finish up, in 2 weeks, I'm going to be on an executive committee in Calgary at the world's largest pipeline safety conference. There's supposedly 700 people there. Guess how many members of the public or working for the public interest are going to be in that 700-person crowd? Well, there's going to be 2, because I'm taking a goat rancher from Montana with me. I figured between her and I, we can handle over 698 people. But I'm going to be on a panel, and they're going to put us in the middle of the stage with 700 people around us, and we're supposed to talk for 2 hours about why does the public hate pipelines and not trust regulators, and how can we rebuild that trust? And the other 4 people on the panel are the president of Kinder Morgan Pipeline, the president of Enbridge Pipeline, the chairman of the board of the National Energy Board of Canada, and the administrator for pipelines and hazardous materials for the U.S. So I know who's going to be on the hot seat in there. We'll see what kind of rocks we can throw and get away with that. Most of what I've been able to do is taking opportunities and turn them into something else, and a lot of the reason I've been able to do that is because of a very unique organization, Resources. You know, when we found water pollution in the Nooksack River, we went to every other environmental organization we could think of in the state, and nobody wanted to deal with it. Nobody locally wanted to deal with it, so we started our own program. Resources have done this over and over again. A lot of groups, you know, they start doing things, they do them really well, but they can't break out of that. Resources is the one group when the community needs something different, they will step up and do something different. And you've seen that over and over again with the pipelines, with the coal port, with water issues. So they're pretty unique. So I think we're not only celebrating myself or Karina this evening, we're celebrating Resources. And I was going to do a pitch for making that, what you put in those envelopes, even bigger at this point, to give other people the opportunity to throw rocks. But I just want to thank you for calling me a hero instead of all those things I've been being called for the last 20 years.